Number 13 on page 232 is an example where we have to find a common denominator, really look at what has to be excluded from the domain, and examine the solutions to determine if either or both are extraneous. So the original equation is 3x over x plus 5 plus 1 over x minus 2, and that's going to equal 7 over x squared plus 3x minus 10. Now to begin this, we can already see that what has to be excluded from the domain is x equals negative 5 and x equals 2. Now, in order to find a common denominator, we have to first factor the quadratic, because common denominators come from factors of all the denominators. And the nice thing for this problem is that our quadratic factors into x minus 5 times x minus 2. So our common denominator is going to be x plus 5 times x minus 2. So what I'm going to do is create a common denominator for each term, and then I will be able to solve the numerator and use that to determine my solutions. So the first fraction is missing a factor of x minus 2. So I'm going to multiply both top and bottom by x minus 2. So I'll have a common denominator. The next fraction is missing a factor of x plus 5. So I'm going to multiply both top and bottom by x plus 5. And then on the other side of the equal sign, I don't have to change that at all, because it has the common denominator. So now what I can do is just solve the numerator, and I'm going to distribute y, I rewrite it. So I have 3x squared minus 6x from the first fraction, then I have plus x plus 5 from the second fraction, and this is going to equal 7. So since it is a quadratic, I will have to combine my like terms, set it equal to 0. Then I need to solve the quadratic. So combining all my terms and putting them on the left side of the equation, I get 3x squared minus 5x minus 2 equals 0. Now I can either see if this can be factored, or I can use the quadratic formula. So I'm going to factor it, and it does factor into 3x plus 1 times x minus 2. So I have two solutions. So from the first parenthesis, I get x equals negative 1/3. And from the second parenthesis, I get x equals 2. Now, as you notice, from here, I cannot have x equals 2, so that solution is eliminated. So the only answer that I do have is x equals negative 1/3.